Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the May 13th Town Council meeting. This evening, we're going to begin with a public hearing on ordinances number 264, 265, and 266. In order to do that, we have to close our general session to move into the public hearing. Do I have a motion to close our general session to move into the public hearing?
I'll make a motion that we close the general session to move into a public hearing in regards to ordinance 264, ordinance 265, and ordinance 266.
Okay.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in
Aye.
favor? Okay. All right.
Aye.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and begin with a public hearing for the ordinances for numbers 264, 265, and 266. We'll start with ordinance number 264, which is in regards to maintaining the current tax rate of 0.216. Is there anyone that would like to share regarding that? Did we receive anything from the public for that ordinance? The tax rate, okay. All right, hearing none, we'll move into discussion for ordinance number 265, increasing the water rate to 77 hundredths per thousand for from $3.85 to $4.62.
Just a curiosity, what's the reason for the increase in the price rates for
Sure.
the ordinance 265 and 266?
Okay, so the question was regarding the question of why, just curious as to why there was an increase for the water rate and proposed for the sewer rate as well. Those are separate entities not included in our general account, and they are standalone services that we provide to the town. And with the cost of everything going up, the cost to provide the service, the electric, the chemicals to treat the things, those have all gone up. So we're looking at increasing that 77 cents per unit or 1,000 gallons just to kind of help defray those costs.
And that's not a base rate, that's obviously,
No.
that's the usage.
That's
So
the
if you
usage.
use more, you have to pay more, and we felt overall that would be the fairest way. Nobody wants prices to go up in any way, shape, or form, but you look at your BG bill and some of the decisions made throughout the state, that it also trickles down to municipalities in order to maintain what we do in the town and, pay the salaries that's needed for the workers and other things. I feel this is a rather lean budget and as best we can make it. I really do.
Yes.
Is that increase
Oh.
also pertain to?
Sorry, Kelly's going to.
Recording purposes, could you come to the mic?
It's not great, but. Thank you. So does some of this increase for the water rate pertain to some of the upgrades and up to the system that they've been having to do recently? I know at the last several meetings, there have been some water line issues and.
So as far as like the current things the things that we have voted on recently, I don't believe so. I think this is to provide the service moving forward. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, this is basically to maintain service. Our electric bill is expected to increase roughly 40%. So this is to help defray some of those increases.
So where do the funds come from for I know that there were some new parts being ordered to shoot through the lines to find where there were potential leaks and things of that nature.
So those were found in our water or sewer, depending on which one it was, into those individual funds. Individual funds. Those are each separate entities. We have the general fund, the water fund, and the sewer fund. So we funded those upgrades and things that had to be done to maintain that level of service through that. This is not a work going backwards and trying to recoup those.
Perfect.
This is just to treat moving forward.
Thank you.
Ms. Stockton?
Also, a couple years ago, you said that the town was subsidizing the water and sewer. Has that been, or is this part of that too, to catch up?
Yes, to help catch up. So, 10, 12 years ago, I'm not sure exactly, a study was done. We looked at what we were funding from the town versus what was being paid for by the residents. We were having to cover a lot of the costs to provide those services that we slowly worked on rolling out over the years in slight upgrades or not upgrades, but increases to the units and things, to the meters themselves. So. Any other discussion, questions? Anything from the public? All right, hearing none. Then I'm going to ask for a motion to close the public hearing to return to our general session.
Make a motion to close the public hearing and return to our general session.
I'll second.
All right, motion and second. All right, we're going to return to our general session, and we're going to start tonight with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Okay, so welcome, everyone. I do want to just let you know that there are 4 of us here this evening. We do have a quorum, so we can conduct business as usual. On behalf of the mayor, she apologizes for not being here this evening, but she had a death in the family and is dealing with family things. So let's go ahead and move on to the receipt of the August 2025 check register.
I'll make a motion, we receive the April 2025 check register.
I'll second that.
All right, so a motion and a second.
Aye.
All in favor?
Yeah.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
I thought you were. Yeah. Good.
All right, moving on. We have an Eagle project proposal. So Miss Lindsay Johnson, if you'll come up and share your project with us.
Hello, I'm Lindsay Johnson from Troop 733G in Winfield, Maryland, and I'm proposing to rebuild a herb garden in Charlotte's Quest Nature Center, and all the expenses will be provided by me, so there's none towards you guys. It's made of pressure-treated wood, and it's going to be approximately 5 by 14 on the thing in size. Okay, so I plan to remove the soil inside of the tarp, inside of the old one, and move it onto a tarp, and then I'm going to replace the boards and add new ones. After that, I'm gonna replace the soil and till it so I can put the herbs back in the garden.
So this is going in the location where the current one is?
Yes,
Just to
yeah.
okay. Awesome.
Like an upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right. Excellent. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Yep.
All right. We'll go ahead and move into the mayor's report. So some updates and things that are happening in the current weeks coming up. Hydrant flushing will occur on May 14th and May 15th, starting at 9 p.m. So if you turn your water on the next morning and it looks a little cloudy or anything, just let it run for a minute or two. We're just trying to clean out the lines and make sure everything's working correctly. Yard waste pickup will continue on Wednesdays through December 17th. Hughes will be out. Remember, yard waste consists of grass clippings, leaves, and small branches not in excess of 3 feet and or 4 inches in diameter. Branches may be bundled in armful loads. Yard waste should not be mixed with mulch, dirt, or any residential refuse, including pet waste. Residents should place lawn waste curbside on Tuesday evening for Wednesday pickup. These guidelines must be followed or Hughes will not collect the yard waste. All yard waste must be placed in the large craft paper bags or in a container to be dumped. No plastic bags will be accepted. Next Tuesday, we have our town election. The election will be held here in Town Hall with polls opening from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. We do have 3 council seats available, so please come out and vote. The office will be closed. The town office will be closed on Monday, May 26th in honor of Memorial Day. Water shutoffs will occur on Wednesday, May 28th. Trash and recycling collection will be delayed the week of Memorial Day. They're going to collect on Thursday, May 28th instead of Wednesday due to the landfill being closed for Memorial Day. So when you put your trash out that night, if it's not there, don't be upset. We're going to begin reading water meters on Monday, June 2nd. Reminder, paint can disposal issues. Please do not place cans with undried paint in the trash. Paint must be completely dried with either cat litter or shredded paper. These guidelines must be followed or Hughes will not collect the trash. And our final reminder for today is that, remember, dogs must be kept on a leash, cord, or chain when not on the premises of the owner.
I made a mistake. The landfill they'll pick up the trash on May 29th, Thursday the 29th, I think.
Thursday the 29th?
Yeah, I had in there 38, sorry.
Okay. All right, so we'll put it out on Wednesday that week instead of Tuesday. All right, we'll move into the town administrator report, please.
Okay, good evening. Before we move into my report, could we get a motion to accept the Eagle Scout project?
I'll make a motion to accept the Eagle Scout project.
I'll second it.
Thank you. And we'll catch up on the paperwork. Okay, for my report this evening, as most of you know, we had a really strong storm blow through the night before Easter. Did a lot of damage to Christmas Tree Park and Pine Valley Park. Our crews did a tremendous job getting the park back open for the weekend for our visitors. There was a total of 38 trees that were lost in Christmas Tree Park. The wastewater treatment plant upgrade, our design engineer has delivered the 90% documents and town staff are reviewing them. MDE is also reviewing them and has comments. So we're working with MDE and the design engineer to get those answered. The PFAS project, MDE has all the bid documents for the design engineer. They have a couple questions before we can award that. The Manchester East Stormwater Facility, the county is still in negotiations with the property owner. And the trees along Main Street, I've submitted some tree removal permits. I've obtained one so far, and the second permit has 3 trees to remove that were on MDE's list of removal. So as soon as they get up here to take a look at them, hopefully we'll get that and can get those trees out. With that permit, we have a year to replace the trees. The Main Street Crosswalk project, Andrew from the State Highway is working on this. Last I talked to him, he is working on getting contractors and proposals, so hopefully in the coming months we'll have an update on that. At the Historical Center, I contacted BG&E for any rebates that might be available for energy savings there. They put me in touch with one of their third-party vendors. They came out and did a site inspection and gave us a proposal. And tomorrow I have a meeting with another company to see what they can offer. So next month I'll have more information on that. The Watershed Action Plan grant for what was the old skate park and the trout stream. The grant's all been approved. Hanover Land Design has begun their portion of the project. They have scheduled some site visits with CCBC for next month, and they also did some preliminary stuff, so we should have a little more information next month on that. I'm doing some investigating on the Hometown Heroes project to see if that's something we could bring to this town. I've made initial contact. I've got some information, and I will have update at further council meetings. Moving on to the code enforcement and zoning, you guys have the code enforcement update in front of you. The Equine Meadows project has received preliminary approval, and they are working with the county to finalize and get their final approval so they can begin their off-site work, which will be new storm drains along Westminster Street and collection system down to 27 area. And I have 2 action items for the council this evening in regards to the storm cleanup. If I can locate them here. The first one will be to repair the fence that was damaged around the tennis courts. We received 3 bids to do this, with the lowest bid being $11,980. We will submit this as an insurance claim, so we will have to cover the fence up front and then hopefully get reimbursed. But I'd like to keep moving this forward, that way we can get the tennis courts back in service.
So it looks as though the staff recommendation is to go with CCC fence for this amount, for this
Yes.
repair? All right. Any questions or discussion? All right, hearing none. Can I have a motion?
I'll make a motion, we award the bid to repair the fence at the tennis court to CCC Fence in the amount of $11,980.
I'll second it.
All right, a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
Okay.
Passes.
So my second action item is to grind the remaining stumps that were left after the trees. So it's 68 stumps in the park that need ground. We received 2 bids, the lowest bid being $5,985. And staff recommendation is to award to Gill's Grinding and Services for this.
This is also an insurance claim.
Yes, this will also be submitted as an insurance claim.
Any other questions or discussion? All right, hearing none.
I'll make a motion to go with staff recommendation to go with Gill's Grinding Services to grind the remaining stumps in the park for the price of $5,985.
I'll second that.
All right, motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, passes.
Okay, moving on to our Public Works report. Our report this month was submitted by our Director of Public Works. You have in front of you the water and wastewater data for last month. Staff spent some serious time in training last month. We had 3 different trainings. We did a chlorine safety training, we did a trench and electrical safety training, and we did a missed utility training. And Department of Public Works supervisors also attended a drug and alcohol awareness class for a probable cause. From the Water and Wastewater Department, our York Street standpipe replacement is 100% complete and the tower is back online. Reports of the data loggers that the council approved have been very good. They said they found a couple of leaks so far with them. They have 10 deployed currently. Our PFAS mitigation, as I touched on earlier, is still in the design phase. And we are planning to treat 5 wells from Manchester Farms area. Our wastewater treatment plant, we're at 90% design. Our Headworks bar screen project, parts were delivered beginning of May. So we're going to wait to install them. We've got tank number 2 clean and back online now, and it is helping get our plant back where we need it to be. And we're also in the process of recalibrating the flow meter in order to obtain more accurate flow data. From our Parks and Maintenance Department, our F-550 dump truck is still scheduled to arrive in June of this year. They had extensive storm damage. As I said, 38 trees in the park. There were many downed trees at Charlotte's Quest Nature Center blocking most of the trails. And they've done an excellent job cleaning this up and getting our parks back in working order. And the Christmas Tree Park fencing project has slowed down a little bit due to the storm damage, but when they get a break, town staff will be back on that. What they've done so far looks really good, and they have 0 action items this month.
Kelly, quick question. For the 07 International that we're replacing, with that one, was that a trade-in for the new one, or is that one that we're going to turn around and list potentially July, August-ish somewhere?
It's actually currently, can you hear me? We currently have it on public surplus,
Okay.
and the due date is, for bids is this Friday.
I believe it's this Friday.
Okay, so we're not going to have a big overlap on that. Okay. Any other questions for our town administrator? All right, go ahead and move into our police report.
Okay, so unfortunately, the police chief couldn't be with us this evening, but I have his report. He says there's nothing significant to report on the police end. There's been 0 Part 1 crime. Police and zoning have been busy with nuisance houses issues on Main Street. Traffic enforcement continues to be a challenge. Remind all drivers to slow down. Traffic stops are yielding a lot of drivers with suspended license and no insurances. So that is the police report.
All right. Okay, we'll go ahead and move into our discussion on ordinance number 264, maintaining the current tax rate of .216. Is there anything that we as a group need to discuss on this one? All right, if not, can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion that, with regard to ordinance number 264, that we maintain the current tax rate of .216.
Okay, we have a motion
I'll second.
and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, passes. All right, we'll move into discussion of ordinance number 265, increasing the water rate 77 cents per thousand from $3.85 to $4.62. No discussion? All right,
I'll make a motion, we approve ordinance number 265, increasing the water rate, .77 cents per thousand from $3.85 to $4.62.
I'll second that.
all right, a motion and a second?
Aye.
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 All right, that one passes. Discussion of ordinance number 266, increasing the sewer rate $1.20 per thousand from $6 to $7.20. All right, no discussion. Can I get a motion for that one?
I'll make a motion that we approve ordinance number 266, increasing the sewer rate from $1.20 per thousand from $6 to $7.20.
I'll second that.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that one passes. And then the last thing that we have tonight is a resolution 01-2025, extending the carryover date for regular leave for our employees for 1 year, effective immediately per passing. And this is to be able to allow them to roll over some of their unused leave, that they don't have to hurry up and use it. If I'm not mistaken, by the end of the fiscal year, they'll have an additional year to be able to use.
That's correct,
the
yes.
accrued
This
leave.
will extend their eligibility, that they won't lose their leave and they don't have to rush to get it taken in the next month and a half.
And Matt, explain to everyone here why that is an issue.
Okay, so we have an officer who is actively deployed right now for the military. So the other officers have picked up his shifts, and they have not been able to use their leave, and we don't want them to lose it. So the mayor has requested that we do this resolution to allow them to use their leave, and it's also going to apply to all town staff, to be fair. So, because we have other town staff who had trouble getting their leave used also.
Any other questions or discussion regarding this resolution?
I like it.
All right,
Very good.
hearing none, may I have a motion to accept that resolution?
I'll make a motion to accept Resolution 01-225, extending the carryover date for regular leave for employees for the town of Manchester for 1 year.
You have a motion
I'll second.
and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that passes. Next thing we're going to move into is questions or comments from the community. The only person that signed in at the door was our Eagle Scout. Is there anyone else in the audience tonight that would like to bring anything before the council? Okay, hearing none, we'll go ahead and move into committee reports. Communication, Rental Housing Appeals Board, Intergovernmental Relations, Councilman Nazelrod.
You already said the elections are May 20th, so everybody show up within the town. 3 seats up, so hopefully it goes well, and that's it.
Okay. Councilperson Howe is not here this evening for Parks and Recs, Community Improvement Projects, and Educational Outreach. We have received several applications for our scholarship, and we're in the process of determining who the lucky recipient will be. Other than that, that's all that I have to report tonight.
The next meeting for the North Carroll Business Alliance is May 15th at noon at Dutch Corner. The guest speaker will be Delegate Chris Tomlinson.
Okay, and then Planning, Zoning, and Capital Projects.
Nothing for planning and zoning this meeting.
All right, and if our youth rep will come up and give us a report on what's happening in the crazy last 6 weeks of school.
Yeah. So as you mentioned, school is slowing down. We are reaching the end of the school year. Seniors actually graduate next Tuesday, the 20th, or not graduate, they finish school they don't graduate till June 2nd. But anyways, as regards to things happening at the school this next week and upcoming, our spring choral concert is this Thursday at 7 o'clock. Going along with that, the student art exhibit that we do annually prior to our spring chorus concert is also on Thursday beginning at 6 o'clock. AP exams are well underway, so if you have a child or a grandchild in the school, wish them luck on their exams because they're going to need it. Things have been very, very stressful at Manchester Valley as of late. The Manchester Valley High School Corollary Corn Toss team went undefeated this season, so they wrapped up their matches and undefeated, which is pretty nice. And then at the Carroll County Championship track meet, Manchester Valley had female athletes that placed first in the 400 and 800, the long jump and the triple jump, as well as people that placed second in the 4x800 and 4x400 relays, and in the triple jump. Also, we had male athletes that placed first in the 400 and 800 as well, the triple jump, and the 4x400 and 4x200 relay. And they also placed third in the 4x800 relay and in the high jump. Friday the 9th, Manchester Valley High School hosted the annual LFI prom for schools across Carroll County. It was Wicked themed, so if you saw the Wicked musical or movie, it was pretty fun. We had students from all different schools in our county that came to Manchester Valley, and they just had a fun time. Also, Saturday the 10th, the day after, the Manchester Valley High School junior-senior prom took place. So I heard that was pretty fun, seeing everyone's posts on Instagram. It looked like a lovely time. And finally, the Manchester Valley High School Performing Arts announced that our 2026 spring musical, so for next spring, we will be doing Matilda. So I'm pretty excited for that because I'll obviously be in that. But that's all. There's not a lot really going on since we're winding down for the end of the year. Thank you.
Thank you. Excellent. All right. Anything for the council, for the good of the group?
Just want to say really thank you for the quick cleanup. I mean, that was in Easter right after there. I coach an 11U travel team. We play on Seafield, and I think the storm came through Saturday night. It was all cleaned up. We were allowed to practice. So stuff like that where the town operates at high level efficiency and effectiveness, it does make a difference. And then we were able to win our game Wednesday because of the extra practice. So,
Thank you.
it all connects. So thank you very much. I appreciate that, Matt.
Yeah, so those of you who don't know, the storm actually picked up a set of bleachers that was along the
I have a picture of it.
field up there,
Yeah.
flipped it over a 4-foot tall fence and put it on second base. So that was the wind that went through here that night.
Yeah, it was playing second base for us, so nothing was getting by there. So
Yeah,
I've never seen something like that. You guys did awesome.
yeah.
though.
The on-field seating didn't work out so well, so we moved it.
It was the visitor side for us, so we'll make do.
All right, just a couple of reminders. Warmer weather means longer days. Kids are outside later in the evenings. Please slow down. Please use caution when you're traveling through the neighborhoods, especially as we get into summer. Also, a reminder, filling of pools is not allowed with town water. Our election is next Tuesday, so we hope to see everyone out here between 7 a.m. and 8 p.m. And then following that, we'll have our reorganizational meeting where we'll swear in our new council members. That will be on May 28th at 7:30. So you'll put your trash out that night, so it'll be picked up the next day. And then our next town council meeting will be on Tuesday, June 10th, 2025. All right, with that being said, may I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll second.
All right, motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Good night, everyone. Thank you.